The biggest mistakes Americans make when trying to live on $1,000 in Costa Rica, and how they end up spending way more. Many Americans looking to leave the US and lower their cost of living are putting Costa Rica at the top of their list. But when they try to live there on a strict budget, they often make costly mistakes that can quickly derail their plans. We're going all in on the real cost of living in Costa Rica, breaking down housing, food, transportation, daily expenses, lifestyle trade-offs, and even the hidden costs most people never see coming. Plus, the assumptions Americans get completely wrong, backed by insights from trusted sources like Travel Plus Leisure, Lonely Planet, and Condé Nast Traveler. Stay with us to the end because you'll find out whether $1,000 a month is actually enough to live well, or if the reality might seriously shock you. You think your budget will buy you a slice of tropical luxury until you start apartment hunting in Costa Rica. Before making the move, it's easy to picture the ideal setup: a modern condo with clean finishes, maybe a balcony with a view, and the kind of comfort that feels like a permanent vacation. For many Americans leaving the US, that expectation is shaped by travel photos, YouTube tours, and the idea that a lower cost of living automatically means a better lifestyle. With a $300 to $600 monthly housing budget in mind, it feels reasonable to expect something close to what you had, just cheaper and in a more beautiful place. But reality shows up quickly. That budget doesn't open doors to luxury condos in prime areas. Those properties exist, but they're priced far beyond what most strict budgets allow. Instead, what you find are smaller apartments, often in local neighborhoods, rather than tourist-friendly zones. These places are more practical than polished, less about aesthetics and more about function. The space might be tighter than you expected. The furnishings, if included, are usually basic. You may not get air conditioning in every room, and the finishes can feel dated compared to what you're used to. In some cases, you'll need to adjust to differences like inconsistent water pressure or simpler kitchen setups. It's not the dream image you had in your head, but it is livable, safe, functional, and enough to support your day-to-day needs. This is where the real housing mistake happens: expecting your old standard of comfort to translate directly into a much lower budget in a different country. That mismatch can lead to frustration, disappointment, or constantly feeling like you're settling. In Costa Rica, housing isn't just about where you live, it shapes how you live. Your location affects your access to groceries, transportation, and social life. Your space influences your daily comfort, productivity, and even your mood. This is where your lifestyle is decided. Stick around. We're just getting started. Let's look at how food expenses there look like. You think food will be cheap across the board until your grocery receipt in Costa Rica tells a very different story. Before arriving, it's easy to assume that a lower cost of living means everything, including food, will be affordable. The expectation is simple: fresh produce, dining out, and even familiar Western staples should all cost less than back in the US. It feels like a given. You're moving to a tropical country known for agriculture, so food should be one of the easiest ways to save money. But once you actually start buying groceries and eating out regularly, the pattern becomes clear. Local food is where the savings are. Rice, beans, fresh fruits, vegetables, and traditional meals served at small local eateries are incredibly budget-friendly. You can eat well, feel full, and stay within your limits without much effort, as long as you're willing to adapt to what's locally available. The surprise comes when you try to maintain your usual diet. Imported goods, things like certain cereals, snacks, cheeses, or branded products you're used to, are significantly more expensive. Even dining at Western-style restaurants or cafes quickly adds up, often costing close to or sometimes even more than what you'd pay in the US. What seemed like a small indulgence at first can quietly become a major expense when repeated daily or weekly. This is where many Americans make a costly mistake. They plan their food budget assuming all options are equally affordable. The reality forces a choice. Either you embrace local eating habits and keep your spending under control, or you hold on to familiar Western preferences and watch your budget stretch thinner and thinner. It's not about quality, it's about sourcing. Local food is abundant and priced for everyday living. Imported or Western-style food carries added costs that your budget may not be able to handle long term. The difference becomes obvious very quickly. If you eat local, your money goes far and your meals stay simple but satisfying. If you don't, the numbers stop making sense. If you eat local, you're fine. If not, your budget breaks fast. Keep watching, because the part about transportation costs in the country is coming up next. You think keeping a car is part of the plan until transportation costs in Costa Rica start draining your budget fast. Before the move, it feels natural to assume you'll maintain the same level of convenience you had in the US. Having a car means freedom, flexibility, and control over your schedule. It's how you get groceries, explore new places, and handle everyday life without relying on anyone else. So when budgeting for life in Costa Rica, many Americans automatically factor in owning or renting a vehicle as a non-negotiable part of their lifestyle. But once you're on the ground, the numbers tell a different story. Cars in Costa Rica are expensive, not just to buy, but to maintain. Fuel costs are higher than expected, insurance adds up, and repairs or parts can be surprisingly pricey. Even renting a car long-term can quickly eat into a tight monthly budget. What seemed like a standard convenience back home starts to feel like a luxury you're constantly paying for. Then there's the alternative, public transportation. Buses are widely available, reliable in many areas, and incredibly cheap. For just a small fraction of what you'd spend on a car, you can get around cities and even travel between regions. At first glance, it seems like the obvious solution for anyone trying to stick to a $1,000 monthly budget. But this is where expectation collide with reality again. While buses save money, they also require adjustments, fixed schedules, longer travel times, and less flexibility. Quick errands aren't always quick. Spontaneous trips take planning. And depending on where you live, access to routes can either make life easier or more complicated. This is where the transportation mistake happens. Assuming you can keep your level of mobility without significantly impacting your budget, or switch to cheaper options without affecting your lifestyle. Over time, you start to see the trade-off clearly. A car gives you convenience, but comes at a high cost. Buses keep your spending low, but require patience and flexibility. And that's when it really clicks. Your daily movement shapes your daily life. Where you go, how often you go out, and how easily you handle simple tasks all depend on how you get around. Your mobility affects your lifestyle more than you think. Make sure to watch all the way through. You would want to know what Costa Rican internet and work life look like. You assume your remote job will run just as smoothly in Costa Rica until your internet connection decides otherwise. Before making the move, it's easy to believe that working remotely from a tropical country will be seamless. After all, you've already been doing your job online, attending meetings, sending emails, and hitting deadlines without issue. So the expectation is simple. Bring your laptop, find a comfortable place, connect to Wi-Fi, and keep everything running like normal, just with a better view. And in some parts of Costa Rica, that expectation holds up. In major cities and more developed areas, internet service is decent. You can find stable connections, co-working spaces, and cafes that support a typical remote work routine. On good days, it feels exactly like what you imagined. Productive mornings, relaxed afternoons, and a lifestyle that blends work with a slower pace. but the experience changes the moment you step outside those areas. In smaller towns or more rural locations where rent is often cheaper and the scenery even more appealing, connectivity becomes less reliable. Speeds can fluctuate, outages happen without much warning, and backup options aren't always available. What seemed like a minor inconvenience at first can quickly turn into a serious problem when you're trying to stay consistent with your work. This is where many Americans make a critical mistake. They plan their move based on cost saving or lifestyle goals without fully accounting for the quality of their internet connection. Choosing a cheaper apartment in a quieter area might look like a smart financial decision, but if your work depends on stable connectivity, that choice can backfire fast. Missed meetings, delayed uploads, and constant interruptions don't just create stress, they can affect your performance and reliability. And unlike other adjustments, this isn't something you can easily ignore or work around long term. The reality is simple. Your ability to earn depends on your ability to stay connected. This matters if you're working remotely. You'll want to know what kind of lifestyle you can expect living in the country. Trust me, you moved to Costa Rica chasing a slower, simpler life, only to realize it comes with trade-offs you didn't fully expect. Before making the leap, the vision feels almost perfect. A laid-back lifestyle, warm weather all year, and easy access to nature, especially beautiful beaches just a short drive away. It's the kind of life that promises less stress, more time outdoors, and a daily routine that feels calm instead of rushed. Compared to the fast pace and high costs of the US, it seems like the ultimate upgrade. At first, that vision does come to life. The mornings feel quieter. The air feels different. You notice how close you are to greenery, to the ocean, to a slower rhythm that encourages you to breathe a little deeper. There's a sense of peace that's hard to find in busy American cities, but over time, another reality starts to surface, one that isn't always talked about. Costa Rica, especially in popular expat and coastal areas, has become increasingly expensive. Groceries in certain neighborhoods, dining out, rent in desirable locations, and everyday services can add up quickly. In some cases, the total cost begins to rival what you might pay in smaller or mid-sized US cities. And it's not just about money, it's about convenience. The same slower pace that feels refreshing at first can also mean longer wait times, limited availability of certain products, and fewer options when it comes to services you once took for granted. Things that used to be quick and efficient, like running errands, getting something repaired, or accessing specific items, can require more time, patience, and flexibility. This is where the lifestyle mistake happens. Expecting to gain all the benefits of a relaxed, tropical life without giving anything up in return. The truth is, every advantage comes with a trade-off. You start to realize that while you're surrounded by natural beauty and a calmer environment, you may also be sacrificing a level of convenience, speed, and variety that you were used to. The balance shifts in ways you didn't fully anticipate, and that's when it becomes clear. This lifestyle isn't just cheaper or better, it's different. You gain peace, but lose some convenience. It's time to discover what costs are hidden in the country not many people talk about. You think your monthly budget is complete until the hidden costs in Costa Rica start showing up one by one. After covering housing, food, transportation, work, and lifestyle, many Americans feel confident they've mapped out what life in Costa Rica will actually cost. On paper, it looks simple. Lower rent, cheaper local food, and a more affordable lifestyle overall. But what often gets missed are the expenses that don't show up in the initial planning stage, the ones that quietly accumulate over time and change the financial picture completely. One of the biggest surprises is healthcare. While Costa Rica does have a public system, many expats rely on private clinics for faster service, English-speaking staff, and shorter wait times. Even routine visits, checkups, or minor treatments can add up if you're paying out of pocket or supplementing with private insurance. What initially feels like a safe, affordable system can become an unexpected monthly or occasional expense that wasn't fully accounted for. Then there are visas. Staying long-term isn't just a matter of arriving and settling in. You need to maintain legal residency or extend your stay through proper channels. That often comes with application fees, renewals, documentation costs, and sometimes legal assistance. These aren't always huge one-time payments, but they are recurring or periodic costs that many people overlook when planning a strict monthly budget. Imports are another major hidden factor. Anything that isn't locally produced, certain foods, electronics, personal items, or familiar brands can be significantly more expensive due to shipping fees, taxes, and limited availability. What feels like a small comfort from home can quickly turn into a luxury purchase. Over time, relying heavily on imported goods can quietly push your spending far beyond what you originally expected. And this is where the real issue appears. None of these costs feel obvious at first. They don't show up in rental listings or basic cost of living estimates. They build slowly in small decisions and occasional needs that seem harmless in isolation, but add up over weeks and months. This is where most people underestimate. The true cost of living in Costa Rica isn't just what you plan for. It's everything you don't see coming until you're already there, adjusting in real time. Do you think you can actually live well in the country on a $1,000 budget per month despite committing these mistakes? You can live in Costa Rica on $1,000 a month, but not the version of life most Americans picture when they first arrive. At that budget level, it's important to reset expectations. $1,000 in Costa Rica is enough to survive and even live a meaningful life, but it won't deliver the same level of Western comfort or convenience many people are used to back in the US. Instead, you're stepping into a completely different kind of lifestyle, one that operates on different priorities. You're not buying Western comfort. You're not buying convenience. You're not buying fast, seamless systems or fully upgraded living spaces with every familiar product and service at your fingertips. What you're buying is something else entirely. You're buying simplicity, fewer expenses, fewer distractions, fewer obligations. You're buying access to nature, green mountains, coastal views, and a climate that encourages you to spend more time outside than inside. And you're buying a slower life where daily routines feel less rushed and more intentional, even if that comes with trade-offs in convenience. And this is where the reality of living on a strict budget becomes clearer, because Costa Rica essentially offers two very different lifestyles depending on how much you spend. The $1,000 lifestyle is built around local living. It means choosing smaller apartments in local neighborhoods, eating more locally sourced food, using public transportation, and keeping your setup simple. It's functional, grounded, and budget-focused. You can absolutely live this way, but it requires flexibility, adaptation, and letting go of certain expectations about comfort and ease. Then there's the $1,500 to $2,000 lifestyle. This is where things begin to feel more balanced. You still enjoy the benefits of Costa Rica's natural beauty and slower pace, but with more breathing room. Better housing options become available, transportation becomes easier, and you have more flexibility in how you spend your time and money. It's not luxury, it's stability with comfort, and that's the key distinction most people miss. $1,000 gives you a life in Costa Rica, but $1,500 plus gives you a life you actually enjoy. That doesn't mean $1,000 isn't possible. It means it comes with clear trade-offs. So the real question isn't just, can you afford it? But what kind of life do you actually want day to day? because the most practical strategy isn't jumping in blindly. It's starting with a buffer of around $1,500 so you have room to adjust without pressure. Then, test different locations before committing long term. Some areas are cheaper but less convenient, while others cost more but improve your quality of life significantly. From there, adjust your spending habits based on what actually matters to you, whether that's food, housing, mobility, or leisure. And most importantly, decide your lifestyle priority early. Are you optimizing for cost, comfort, or balance? Once you understand that trade-off clearly, living in Costa Rica stops being about surviving on a number and starts being about designing a life that actually fits you. If you want even more tips on living abroad, check out the next video where we break down how to make your move easier, more affordable, and full of unforgettable experiences.